first online class and people are still coming. Okay. So here if you see this, the declaration, this character CT5, that means 5, so 5 character string it is. Okay. But we have initialized this to this by this B. That means only one character. Only one character means it will go to the index 0 because the C array starts with index 0, so it will B will go to the index 0. So we'll initialize the character B and remaining element to null. So null character. Okay. The size is 5. That means we are storing or we are initializing, or with the number of initializer is less in this case. So the remaining characters, the remaining elements will be initialized by the null character. Right? If we have more initializers, here we have a single initializer B. If we have more initializers than the declared size, the compiler will produce error. This thing we need to keep in mind, because while checking, the compiler will find that the size of the array less in comparison to whatever string literal or string constant that we are trying to initialize the array. Here the size is C3, but we are trying to initialize this by a string grammar. The size of this is more in comparison to 3. Is it clear? Anybody having any query? Anybody having any query? Anybody having any query? Aditya Singh? Aditya Singh. Any doubt, any query? Anybody having any doubt, any query?
No, sir.
Okay. So, so this will not work and it's illegal in C. So this thing you need to keep in mind, that is the size of the array. It should not be less than the size of the string that you are trying to initialize. So, and again, it is important to know that string is a sequence of characters that are treated as a single data item, and it is terminated by a null character. Very, very important. It is terminated by a null character. Remember that C language doesn't support string as data type. String is actually a one-dimensional array of characters. So these are often used to create meaningful and readable programs. So this thing you need to keep in your mind. There is no data type called string. Right? It is a group of characters which is terminated by a null character. Okay? Is terminated by a null character. So this thing, basic thing you need to keep in your mind while writing programs for character arrays. And we know that after the array is declared, the element must be initialized. Otherwise, they will contain garbage. Right? So an array can be initialized at either the compile time or at the runtime. Right? So either you, in the compilation time, you initialize the array by specifying the values in your program itself, or you can ask the user to input values for those elements, right? So it is up to you. That is, if the program so desire that you have to value बाहर से देना है, in that case, आप value बाहर से दीजिए with the help of the read function. That is, for example, the scanf function. Using scanf function, you can read values and put those values in the array. Right? You can take a for loop, right? Repeatedly execute the scanf function and store values in the array. Right? We have compile time initialization, we have runtime initialization. So the runtime, say for example, you have taken a for loop, for example, for I is equal to 0, I less than 100. I would say. Very good. Okay. If you talk about that, why you are trying to come, join. Okay. So in case of runtime initialization, that means, so for example, for I is equal to 0, I less than 100, and I plus plus. Right? And if I less than 50, so the array name is A, AI is equal to 0. Else AI is equal to 1. That means 50% elements will be initialized by 0 and 50% element will be initialized by 1. So you can initialize the array at runtime or you can initialize the array at compile time. It's up to you how you want to implement it and what is the requirement of the program. The program so desires to ask the user to input data, that is to write a general program, right? Then you should do that. So it is always advisable to write a general program instead of initializing the array in the program itself, and that is not advisable actually, right? Because it is always, because the program will run for fixed data, so the data should be variable, right? You should write a general program whenever you have to write a program for any specific problem. You go for user input instead of initializing the array in the program itself. The program is very complicated. In that case, you can go for initialization of array, or for demonstration purpose, you can go for initialization of array in the program itself. Otherwise, then Then comes your string strcpy function, that is string copying function. So one string will be copied. Here we have taken character arrays because we know that there is no separate data type for string, and we'll be considering single dimensional array for, because it is one dimensional array having size 50, so two strings, string 1 that is S1, string 2 that is S2, both are of size 50, right? Is size 50 here, is size 50 here, right? Now what you want to do, you want to copy this string constant that is study tonight to this S1, the first parameter, second parameter, because copying one string to another, syntax is copying one string to another, means we need two strings, need two arrays, right? So here, so S1 will contain study tonight. Now the content of S1 is study tonight. Now we are using again string copy. We are copying that S1 into S2. Right? We are copying this S1 into S2. Then we are displaying this S2, because the control form is percentage S, the new line character, backslash n, the new line character, it is returns. As we have taken the int, it should return. So it is program basic, right? When take it void, there is no return type. If the function doesn't return anything. Here in this program, what we have done, we have included string.h header file. Okay, so all string handling functions, they are in string.h header file. So you need to keep in your mind, आपको याद रखना है कि string.h header file को use करना है, and आपको जो भी string handling function, strcmp, strcpy, strlen, strrev, so जो भी string handling functions है, and for that you need to include the string handling header file, that is string.h header file, right? Is it clear? Anybody having any doubt? Anybody having any doubt, Ayush? Pawan? Pawan, are you there? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
कोई डाउट आ रहा है? किसी को डाउट है?
No, sir.
This is how string handling functions, they are used. So whenever you require in your program, you simply go for this, right? Use these predefined functions. And similarly, here we have strrev, right? So we use the getS function, get a string, right? Because we have declared character array here of 50 times 50. We need to provide, either need to input a string whose size is less than 50. So here the getS function will receive that string, and here you use strrev function, that is this one. So if you study tonight, so it is simply reversing the string. Right? This T comes here, then this H comes here, this T comes here. Right? Likewise, it will reverse, or when say rotating the string. Right? Okay. So this is about your string handling functions, right? Using your program, right? And finally, see this program where we have combined all this. So it is str1, the first character string, character array that we have taken, whose size is 12, right? And it is initialized by the string constant hello. The second string, character string, that is str2, again the size is 12 and it is initialized by volt, the string constant volt. So string constant जब भी आएगा आपके यहाँ पे डबल कोट्स पे लिखना है, तो string constant हो जाएगा, group of characters. आदित्य वर्मा कनेक्ट होते हैं, डिस्कनेक्ट होते हैं, क्या हो रहा है? Okay. So and here we have taken a third string character array, that is str3. Again the size is 12. So all character arrays, they are of same size, right? Right. To avoid any confusion, less or more, we have taken similar size character arrays. Like copy str1 into str3. That means we want to copy the string hello into the string character array, that is str3. So simply strcpy, the first argument or the first parameters will be the string, that is a destination string, and it is a source string. Means you want to copy str1, that is the source string, and from this string you are trying to copy it in str3. Okay, so here you are simply copying this. Now if you print this, because for printing the control form this percentage s is used, the new line character, so you will print the content of the character array str3. This is how you display or print on your monitor using this percentage string. Okay, now concatenates str1 and str2. Because in str1 we have hello, in str2 we have world. We want to concatenate or combine or join, right? So those strings को आपको join करना, right? In that case, simply go for strcat, str1 and str2. Your two strings you are joining. Hello after that world. तो यहाँ पे आपको hello world आपको यहाँ पे display करेंगे, right? Then because this is the destination, so in this string you will see the concatenated string, means a joined string, because you have joined one string with another string. Similarly, because you know that strlen string handling function, it returns the length of a string. strlen function, it returns length of a string. So simply specify this function argument is str1, because you want to find out length of the string str1. Whatever you have stored in str1, the size will be 12, right? Okay. Because here hello world 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5, this 5 character string, again 5 character string. Total the size of, was already joined the string and the final output is in str1. Okay, so this is the first line str copy, right? Because we have copied str1 to str3. Display str3 will display hello. And this segment string, that is, and this is the destination string, the source string. So the final output is in str1. So str1 is now hello world, right? Because we have joined the string, and the length of this hello world is 10. So it is returning 10. String len strlen function will return value 10 because this is the size of the string. Okay, anybody having any query here? Anybody having any query? Bhargavi? Bhargavi, any query? Bhargavi, are you there? Name was not there in your quiz, but now you are missing. Very good. Anybody else? Anybody want to ask any question? There कोई doubt है?
No, sir.
Okay, now move to very important multi-dimensional arrays. Multi-dimensional arrays. So we have, up to this point, we have seen how to use one-dimensional arrays, and now we'll see multi-dimensional arrays. So similar to your one-dimensional array, because list of values we have stored in single-dimensional array. So there could be situations where a table of values will have to be stored. So whenever you need to store a table, that means rows or columns are there, right? So in that case, go for multi-dimensional arrays. Okay, having more than one dimension. Usually we go for two dimensions, rows and columns, right? So similar to one dimensional, if you have more than one dimension, all specified in this general syntax, general form. This general form says is as usual in case of one-dimensional array. The type of the array like int or character or float, जो भी आपका requirement है आप देख लें. अब आप यहाँ तक one-dimensional array. You have another dimension, then again you include within the square bracket size 2 dot size n. You want to keep 3 dimensions, so size 1, size 2, size 3. If you have more dimensions, then you have declaration like this. So in case of 3 dimension, the first dimension is the size is 5, second is 10, third is 4. Right? So here the size of the dimension that you specify here. Right? So as usually we go for 2-dimensional arrays. Right? So we go for this 2 dimensions. Right? Like the first dimension is the simplest form of multi-dimensional array. The dimensional array. List of one-dimensional arrays. List of one-dimensional arrays. Because list of values that we have stored in one-dimensional array, and here is two-dimensional arrays, nothing but list of one-dimensional arrays. So to declare a two-dimensional array of size x, y, to write something like this array, two-dimensional memorize, right? But type any value type array name will be a valid CID. It should be a valid CID. To follow that rule, right? And you can have, say, like here we have 3 rows, right? We have 3 rows and 4 columns. 3 rows and 4 columns. So individual element, this is the 0th row, 0th column. 0th row, 0th row means the first row. Row 0, row 1, row 2. Right? So this is first row, that is 0th row and the first column. Right? Second column. First column is index having 0, second column index is 1, third column index is 2, fourth column index is 3, because we start storing from 0th index. The reason why is ending at 4, and we have 4 columns, so as it is starting from 0, that means we will take the index from 0 to 3. Thus, every element in the array A is identified by an element name for Aij. Aij. So this is an element of the array. You want to refer the array element. कौन सा element को आपको refer करना है, तो आपको ऐसे ही उसको index को का value से उसको access कर सकते हैं. A 0, I is 0, J is 0 is this value. Right? The array name is A here, the index. Right? So where A is the name of the array and I and J are the subscript that uniquely identify each element in A. So here this array A that we have taken, right, and for this basically 2 dimensions. So with the help of this variable I and J or the subscript I and J, we can very easily locate an element in a 2-dimensional array. Okay. Then how to initialize 2-dimensional arrays? So multi-dimensional arrays may be initialized by specifying bracketed values for each row. Bracketed values for each row. So it is 3 rows and 4 columns. 3 rows and 4 columns. Right? Here is first column, second, third, fourth. The first row, the second row, right, and the third row. Right? 3 rows and 4 columns. So in this curly braces, right, this curly is the outer curly brace. Within that, you have a set of values. This is because you have said what you have said the last slide. Say it is nothing but a list of 1-dimensional arrays. Right? List of 1-dimensional. Keep in your mind, it's a list of 1-dimensional arrays. Because 1D is nothing but a list of values only. 2D or multi-dimensional case may have a list of 1-dimensional arrays. Okay. So here we have initialized and separated that list with a delimiter or comma operator, that is comma. First set of values, the first dimension, right? The first row, the second row, the third row, and we end with the terminator, that is as statement ends with the terminator. तो आपको यहाँ पे इस तरह से आपको 2-dimensional arrays initialization एक प्रोग्राम पे हो जाएगा. In a 2-dimensional array. Right? If you see this program, we have taken the size here 5 and the number of columns. It means 5 rows and 2 columns. So for clarity, we have taken this nested braces 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, so first row, second row, third row, fourth row, fifth row. Right? Okay. And this is only 2 columns are here. First column, second column. Right. So this is first column, second. Right. So this is you want to display this सारे, we can take this for loop for I is equal to 0 to I less than 5. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, because we have 5 values there, and you can display and the output will come like this, right? The output will come like this. Stop. Why most of you have left? They are not yet taken your attendance. Only 6 are left.
सर इस
हाँ बताओ।
बार बार सर अपने आप निकल जाते थे सर, इसलिए। और सर
बार बार डिस्कनेक्ट हो जाता था।
यस सर, और फिर मीटिंग में इन करने के लिए बहुत टाइम लगता था सर, तो लगा वो सबको लग रहा होगा ख़त्म हो गया।
जैसे कोई खत्म होता है, ऑल ऑफ ए सडन इंटरनेट डिस्कनेक्ट होने पे ऐसे होता है। एनीहाउ, अगर पवन है इस पे?
नहीं सर, नहीं है।
तो हमको एक अटेंडेंस लिस्ट हमको इसमें चार्ट में दे देना, ठीक है? ओके, तो थे उससे मैंने अभी क्लास में पवन को बोल देना कि दे देगा, ठीक है?
ठीक है सर, ठीक है सर।
थैंक यू ऑल।
थैंक यू सर।
Any question, any queries from all of you? Manoj, any question? Should I leave?